Hi, I'm Lydia Goebel, and I'm going to teach you how to make manicotti. And it's an authentic Italian recipe. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make the sauce because it takes the longest. And as the Tellos would say, which is my Italian side of the family, they'd say that if the longer you cook it, the better it's going to taste. So the first thing you're going to do is add 3 12-ounce cans of tomato paste in there, and then you're going to fill up the cans with water twice, all 3 of them, and you're going to put that in the pot. Try not to spill it. And then you're going to have a can of tomato puree. This one's a 15-ounce can. Get all that in there. Okay, then you're going to mix it up. And once it's mixed all the way, you're going to have it boil for 10 minutes. While your sauce is boiling, you're going to take 3 cloves of minced garlic and 1 big onion, and you are going to saute them until they're like lightly brown. And then when that's done, you can go ahead and put in the sauce at any time. Now, since they're golden brown, we're going to add them to the sauce. Okay, so now this has been boiling for about 10 minutes, so it's time for us to add the seasonings to it. In America, typically they add like a lot of seasonings and they call it authentic, but it's really not. My great-grandmother would add 2 tablespoons of salt and half a tablespoon of pepper. And then she would also add 3 heaping tablespoons of sugar. To some people that might seem odd, but back in Sicily, their tomatoes were very sweet compared to ours. So when she came over here and we had bitter tomatoes, she would add sugar to all of her tomato sauces. And so now we're going to let this boil for 10 more minutes. So now we're going to add the meatballs in. You don't have to put meatballs in your sauce, but it adds flavor. So we'll put these meatballs in here. My family does have a meatball recipe, but I figured we're just going to focus on making the manicotti and not meatballs. So after you get all of your meatballs in there, you're going to turn the heat on high and cook it for a while. And then you're going to cook it on medium until the color changes. And that all should take about an hour and a half. So now we're going to make our cheese mixture while the sauce is cooking. That way all the flavors can mix together. So first we have 8 ounces of ricotta cheese. And then we're going to put 8 ounces of cottage cheese. And then we have 8 ounces of Parmesan cheese. And 8 ounces of mozzarella. And then we have 3 tablespoons of parsley. You're gonna mix all of this up and then set it in the refrigerator until you're ready to stuff your pasta. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention, you're actually supposed to add 2 eggs to this. So let me get my eggs. Then you're gonna just crack your eggs and add them into the cheese mixture. And then you're gonna mix everything up, like I was saying before. So now that the sauce is about done cooking, we're going to boil some water and cook our shells. So this is what the manicotti shells look like. You can use these other like jumbo shells and just put the cheese in there instead and it'd be the same thing. So you're going to add that to your boiling water. And you're going to cook them however long the box says to the al dente. There you go. So mine says to cook it about 9 to 10 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. So there's a little bit of chemistry going on when we're cooking. And when you boil, there's these little pockets of air that are formed in there, and it has water vapor on the inside, so it'll form at the bottom where all the heat is, and it'll come up, and then it's released in the air like the steam, and then so that's the chemistry that's going on with the boiling. So another thing with this meal is that it's very, very good to eat before you do some type of like big athletic activity such as running a race, because pasta has a lot of carbohydrates in it and that helps you with energy. So it's very good for that. But eating too many carbohydrates can be a bad thing. Like you always hear people saying they're watching their carbs, but yeah. And then the sauce, it doesn't have that much fat in it, so it's not really as unhealthy as you might think. When it's done cooking, we're going to drain them. That's done. And so this is where we start to stuff the shells. So we're going to get a big casserole dish, and then first off you want to take the sauce And you're going to line the bottom of it with a little bit of the sauce. You don't want to get meatballs in there if you made meatballs. Just want some of the sauce. There you go. Like that. And then you need to get your shells. And you're going to start stuffing them. We're going to stuff our shells. So you want to hold your shell like this with the bottom end, kind of like that. It's going to fill up once you put the cheese in there. And you want to try to hold the top part of it open so the cheese can get in there. It helps if you use a spoon with a long handle. And you just want to put like a little bit of cheese in at a time. Like that. Oh gosh. So then once you have it full, you're just going to lay it in your little pan where the sauce is. And you're just going to have it like that. And then you're going to take some of your sauce again. And you're going to put it over the pasta shells. Like that. And then you can take some mozzarella and put it over everything, however much you want. And you're going to put that in the oven and bake it on 325 for half an hour. So now that our food is cooked for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, we're gonna take it out. And that's what it looks like. Nice and yummy. And then just cut it and you eat it.